Good morning, venerables, devotees and guests. Welcome to the Buddhist Society of Victoria's Robe-Offering Ceremony 2021. We are so happy that we are able to do this important ceremony in person this year at Newbury Monastery with the lifting of lockdown restrictions. And we are also happy to see so many members of the Sangha with us here today, 6 monks and 5 nuns, including our new fully ordained nuns, Aya Sela and Aya Sankappa, so that we could offer the robes and other requisites to them, following the 2,600-year-old tradition initiated by the Buddha. So before we officially start the robe offering ceremony, let us first acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land and country throughout Australia and their connections to land, sea, and community. We pay respect to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples today. So a few housekeeping rules before we continue further. Please ensure that you comply with all the COVID protocols as instructed by the COVID marshals. We can accommodate a limited number of people in the Dhamma hall and also in the dining hall. So because of the density requirements, your compliance will be greatly appreciated. Thank you to those who are outside. And those who are outside can come in to offer the robes when others come out in an orderly manner during the offering ceremony, which is between 10 and 10:30. And toilets are in the library building and also behind the kitchen. Please follow the signposts. Now, let me give a brief summary of today's events. We will start with taking off the 5 precepts, followed by messages from Newbury's senior monk and senior nun. Ajahn Nisarano will give a Dhamma talk. After the Dhamma talk, Chinta and I will offer the main robes and the requisites on behalf of the whole community to the senior monk and the senior nun. Then NBM Bhantes and Ayas will give a blessing chanting, which includes the sharing of merits. The event will officially close and end with a closing message from Chinta, the Vice President of the Buddhist Society of Victoria. Then from 10 to 10:30, for those who are here in person at Newbury, you will have the opportunity to offer the robe and requisites in person. After lunch, you have the opportunity to speak to the monastics, especially the 2 newly ordained bhikkhunis. The family who has registered to offer lunch dana today will go into the dining hall around 10:40 to offer the dana to the monastics on behalf of the whole community who is representing. They will be representing the whole community here. Now, and after the dana offering, you will be served lunch at the tent area which is outside. Thank you so much. And now to start the robe offering ceremony, we invite Chinta to request 3 refuges and 5 precepts from Aya Upeka.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Mayam aye තිසරණේන සහ Panchasilani Yachamma Dutyampi Mayam Bhante Tisaranena Saha Panchasilani Yachamma Tatyampi Mayam Aye Tisaranena Saha Panchasilani Yachamma.
Sadhu. Okay, with the permission of Ajahn, I will now give the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts. Right, so please repeat after me. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dhammang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Adinnadana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Kamesu miccācara veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya majjapamadattana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Surameraya majjapamadattana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu,
That
sadhu,
was
sadhu.
the 3 refuges and the 5 precepts. Now let us all chant together the recollection of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha in Pali. All together. Those outdoors too, if you are able to join us. Right. Iti piso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vicchācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati sattā deva manussanang buddho bhagavati. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditthiko akaliko ehi
สิโกโอปนัยโกปัจจาตังเวทิตาโบวิญญูหิติสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอุจุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญายปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามีจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยะติดังจัตตาริปุริสยุกานิอัตตปุริสปุกกลาเอสภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุเนโยปาหุเนโยดักขิเนโยอัญจลิการณิโยอนุตตรังปุญญาเกตังโลกัสสาติ
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
That's good. So, I think now I think India is going to. Are you reading this next section? I can do it actually. So now is the time for the end of the rains retreat messages. So this is from the monks and from the nuns. And on the monks' side, Venerable Sunyo will give the message on behalf of the monks. And it's really just looking at how the rains retreat was, giving you a feeling for the rains retreat 2021. And Ayurupeka will be giving her message, her reflection on the rains retreat for the nuns. Of course, it'll be an overlap between both communities. So we can begin with Venerable Sunyo. Venerable Sunyo is a Dutch monk who ordained with Ajahn Brahm and has been, I think 7 years ago? No, 6 years. It fully ordained 6 years and has been at Bodhinyana Monastery 7 years. So this is his first venture, I think, outside.
Yes, indeed.
There we are. So over to you.
My first rains retreat outside of Bodhinyana. And it's been a very nice rains retreat. It's nice to see you all here. And before the talk, they said to me, we'll give you the microphone later. That's why we had a little bit of a hassle with the microphone. Because we only have 4 microphones. Only 4, you know. As if that isn't enough. Then I said, well, if you ever get the Spice Girls over, you better get a 5th one. But it shows you there's 4 microphones here. That shows you how much support there is here for this community. And I've also experienced that support during the rains retreat. There's always been so much dana, food every day for us, even though with the COVID. And by us, I mean the monks who have spent the rains retreat here. Not all, and the nuns. Not all the monks who are here now were here for the rains retreat. I was here with Venerable Bodhicitta over there, Venerable Chunda over here, and Venerable Bodhidharma. Here he is doing what we call the late Vassa, so he still has a bit longer for his rains retreat. So today we celebrate not just the rains retreat. This is a day to reflect on gratitude. It's for the sanghas to show our enormous gratitude to all the support we get from you throughout the year. All the shelter we get, the electricity, and the food, and all the requisites. It's more than we need. It's so much support here. I've been really, not surprised. I've been really, how do you call this? Inspired every day. So this is, I think I can say this on behalf of the entire monastic community here. And we are so grateful for all the support that we've been getting from the people now here today also, and also the people online. And it's also today is also a nice day today we also celebrate that there is a Sangha, because there would not be a range retreat without the Sangha. Sanghas. This is actually a very special monastery that we have both bhikkhunis and bhikkhus. And so this is something that you can have the gratitude for. You can have the gratitude that you have such a special place to come to, where there is both nuns and monks. And I would also dare to say it's not just any monks and nuns here. You can find in the Buddhist world so many ideas and so many views which I would say are incorrect, but here we are supported by a community where there are proper ideas about meditation and nibbana and those kind of things. And that is, think I shows your good karma, that you have that. Of course, we are also supported by other senior monks who are not here right now, who are part of this community also. And when we just did the chanting, we had the chanting about the Sangha. So we don't just support any Sangha. What is the best Sangha to support? Do you know?
Aryas.
The Arya Sangha, yes, we just chanted that. So this is why there is the monastery here and why we have range retreat, to create Aryas in the Sangha. And let that always be in the back of your mind with whatever you do for the BSV, for the retreat center that is coming, and for this monastery. Let it always be the intention to have the best support for monks, nuns, and lay people to become Aryas, so that we can continue spreading the Dhamma as it was intended by the Buddha. And then the BSV will be and all the range retreats that will follow will be of much, much, much fruit. And I'll leave you with that reflection.
Thank you. Thank you, Venerable Sunyo. And now it's time for Ayya Upeka's reflection on
Thank you, Ajahn,
Vassa,
and thank you,
the range
Bhante
retreat.
Sunyo. Okay, now I was thinking that the meaning of Vassa has been understood by, I think, most of the devotees now, so we won't go into the meaning of Vassa and all that. It's just that in Newbury Buddhist Monastery, we are into our 7th year, but we are still working towards having a true and proper katina ceremony. And that can only happen when we have 5 bhikkhus or 5 bhikkhunis observing Vassa at the same time here in Newbury Buddhist Monastery. We are getting very close, very close. So maybe one day soon in the near future, we may be able to do a proper katina ceremony. All right. Now, as Bhante Sunyo has mentioned, it is really a day for us to reflect on gratitude to everybody's support, not only the lay support, but also the monastic support here. Now, I'm not able to give a talk without referring to notes like the Ajahns do, so here I go. Otherwise, I'll be lost for words. Okay. So what I like to reflect on really is the Vassa this year was a natural lockdown for all of us. In fact, I think all of Vassas are like voluntary lockdowns for all of us monastics. We do enjoy going into lockdowns, okay? But this year's Vassa was very special because of a true lockdown due to the COVID situation, right? Now, what I like to do is to reflect on what exactly did I contemplate on, what did I treasure about this Vassa, which was so special. The difficulty that presented itself due to the COVID situation. And we have about 13 to 14 people here at any one time in this monastery, depending on the generosity of everybody. So what actually went on in my mind, I really like to share that because it's really through the bottom of my heart that I truly see how all of you have gone through the extra time and why would I say take that extra mile to really support all of us here, the fourfold community here, right? So although Vassa is something that the Buddha has established and practice himself, right? So it has been continued up to today. So for this lockdown period, Vassa lockdown, which we voluntarily go into, first in lockdown into a monastery, and then second, a lockdown into our own personal retreat, 2 weeks. Yeah. We really enjoy those lockdowns. Yeah, okay. So for the lockdown this year, we were so touched by the many of you who actually went through various methods to ensure that all of us here get the proper support, to ensure that we are all safe, to ensure that we are all protected. We really, really can feel that so strongly during this Vassa period. And what I learned from this period of this 3 months, what I call Vassa and also COVID lockdown, is that what is happening to us, what is happening to Mother Nature. I just feel that there's a call from Mother Nature crying out for help so that Mother Nature can support us better. That's something that I feel deeply about COVID situation, the lockdowns and all that. The government is doing their best, we are doing our best to protect one another. But at the end of the day, are we listening to the cries of Mother Nature? What are we doing if we have listened and understood the cries of Mother Nature? Are we going to do something? Because at the end of the day, what is cultivation? It's living in harmony with nature, living in harmony with one another, harmless. So this is something that really strikes me very deeply during this COVID period, and especially this time when Victoria has so many cases coming up, right? So I do not know how to express it, but it really falls deeply in my heart. What are we doing to human beings? What are we doing as human beings to Mother Nature? That's the reflection that's really deep into me. So this is the reason why this Vassa period is very, very, very special. And the other thing that really touched my heart is the support that all of us are giving us. COVID-19 lockdowns means you cannot travel, but yet many people are emailing us, telephoning us, all right, to ask how they can support us. Are we well provided? Are we safe? Are we keeping warm? Do we have enough money to pay our electricity bills because it's extremely cold here? Yeah. So all these things, I'm quite sure that all of our monastics here really feel it, that we are so blessed to have all this support here. So this actually brings me to the reflections that we nuns recite every Uposatha day. There are 10 reflections, and then of course other reflections that we used to recite every Uposatha day to remind us whether we really are on the path of a renunciant towards liberation. So in particular, there are 10 reflections for one who has gone forth. I'll just pick up 1 or 2 or 3 of those 10 just to reflect on, just to share with you how we as monastics have to be so grateful to all the support that we're getting. Right? As I say, not only from the monastics here, we support one another in our practice, but also from all of you. All right. So these are the reflections that I really like to share. One is, I am no longer living according to worldly aims and value. When we renounce our family life, as we were discussing just 2 days ago, we are living our small family and going into a big universal family. We will love our family members. Hopefully we can go to that level of love and metta. We will love our family members just as much as we will love our universal family members. Right? So we are no longer living according to worldly aims and values. That is something that we have to remind ourselves especially when we are in the brown robes. And for those who are staying in the monastery too, those who are here staying in the monastery even as a preceptor, that is something we have to reflect on too. All right? My life is sustained through the gifts of others. Everything that we have on our body, buildings, everything, is through the generosity of each and every one of you, and many others, countless. That's the reason why the Buddha says, just as kusa grass is wrongly cuts one's hand, the samana's life wrongly lived will drag one down to hell. If we forget to be grateful, if we forget to be pure, if we forget to really cultivate and go into, as Ajahn has mentioned, Bhante mentioned just now, go into the holy stream, we are indebted. We are so indebted to all of you. So this is another thing that really strikes me very deeply. We are sustained through the gifts of others, all of you. For many years, sometimes we know we have done things that may not have been rightly understood, but all of you have never given up on us. Year after year after year after year, you all continue to provide for us, to support us. So many years, all these people here, how many years? Countless. Yeah? You and your family members and your next generations, there are a few generations here supporting. So this is something that we have to really deeply reflect on and be grateful towards. All right? Now the other thing that is so true to each and every one of us. Now these are only 3 of the 10. Okay, this is one last one that I'm going to share because we like to give time for Ajahn to give a talk. The days and nights are relentlessly passing. How well am I spending my time?
That's good.
Am I wearing the robe to come here to have an easy life? I don't have to rush to work in the morning. I don't have to look at my boss's face. I don't have to go cram myself into an MRT train or whatever. The days and nights are relentlessly passing. How well are we living our lives? How well am I living my life? How well am I spending my time? So all these are reflections. And this is the reason why I always encourage our nuns here. As long as the body is able to help us, support us, let's do as much as we can. Even if we cannot go into the holy stream yet, at least be as good as we can to support one another, to bring up this place, not only for monastics, but also for the lay people, because everybody is looking for peace and happiness. We have to do our part, those of us who are staying here. So these are the 3 reflections from out of the 10 that I really want to share with all of you today, because all of you have actually been supporting us so much. So we have to ask ourselves, do we treasure the gifts that we are being given? Are we properly making use of those gifts, or are we wasting them? These are things that we are constantly reminding one another. All right? So the other thing is, am I worthy of all this support? What have I done to deserve all this support? Right? Another thing is, am I striving to become a field of merit to the world? Am I a field of merit to the world? Whenever you give me something, will you get the benefit from giving it to me? These are the reflections that is always constantly in my mind. Okay? So, as the Buddha has mentioned to the monastics in the Saraniya Sutta, where he talks about what amiability in the community of Sangha. Okay? Am I living a life in the community, whether it's the Sangha community or the Fourfold community or anywhere we go? Am I living a life with a state of non-harm, unity, harmony, truthfulness, and consistent behavior in body, speech, and mind, in front and at the back of everyone? That means truthfulness, be honest, no pretension. Holy life is not lived out through pretension or impression, just to gain name and fame. Yeah. So all these things are something that we share constantly with one another to ensure that we do not become too deeply indebted to everyone. Until we are really, really arahants, we are indebted. So we all try to do our very best to be of service, right? And at the same time, to purify ourselves too. So with that, I'd like to conclude. I really want to thank all of you for being here.
Sadhu.
It's so nice to see all the old faces here, familiar faces, and to be able to receive all the support from all of you continuously, and a lot of you actually remindedly telling us Ayo Pekka, and also to the nuns and the monks. I also get the same invitation. Anything you need, any help you need, just let us know. We are so blessed. Newbury is so blessed. We are so young, but we have such a support. We are so blessed. So with that, I really want to thank you, and we hope that we will, as I said previously, I hope that all of us will do our best not to let any of you down. If we have done anything that is have offended through body, speech, or mind, or through any misunderstanding, we do ask for forgiveness, but our practice is not to be harmful, but to be helpful and friendly. Okay, that's a reminder for all of us. Thank you so very much for being here.
Thank you, Aya, and thank you, Venerable Sunyo. So just to, I don't think there's much time now, but I will just give a little introduction to the Katina. And first of all, just to say, this is Ajahn Nasarano, if you're wondering who it is. Some people online may be wondering who I am. And I'm a monk who ordained with Ajahn Brahm 24 years ago, and lived for 14 years in Sri Lanka, 8 of which were in a cave. So that's who I am. But I think probably also for those online, it would be interesting to know who the monks and nuns are, actually. So, of course, on my left, there's Ajahn Bodhicitta, who ordained also in Bodhinyana. I think now 18 reigns. 17, all right. And Ajahn Sadhuro, many of you are familiar with him. He's now in the East Malvern at the Buddhaloka Buddhist Centre, and he ordained with Ajahn Anan in Thailand, very famous teacher in Thailand, in the Ajahn Chah tradition. And next we have Venerable Chunda, or Ajahn Chunda. He's now we're all Ajahns actually almost. Ajahn Chunda, who also ordained at Bodhinyana, and now has 10 Vassa, I think, 10 reigns. We call it Vassa too. And then Ajahn Bodhidaja, who also has 10 reigns. They're using Bhante a lot now. And last but not least, Venerable Sunyo, who is, as I mentioned, a Dutch monk who has now got six reigns as a bhikkhu, a fully ordained monk. And you know Aya Pekka, of course. And we welcome, of course, Aya Sela, who became a bhikkhuni on the 1st of August. And I was there in Perth to take part in that ordination ceremony. It was with great joy, great happiness. And Aya Sankapa also became a bhikkhuni on that day, the 1st of October, with another 2 women from the nuns' monastery in Western Australia. And we have Aya Santa, who has helped enormously with the technical side, even today, with arranging the chanting, printing the chanting and all this sort of thing, and does a lot of work here. And Aya Sunyata. So, and they will be looking forward to, I hope, ordaining is it this year or next year?
Sorry?
Is it next year they will be ordaining? 2022? So that will be something to look forward to. So just to introduce the community, and also to mention the reason you may not have seen me is I wasn't here. That's a good reason, isn't it? I was actually spending the Rains retreat with Ajahn Brahm at his monastery in Western Australia, Serpentine, Western Australia. And it was wonderful to be a passenger there, with very few duties. And the Rains retreat is very much that encourages us to put down a lot of our duties and responsibilities. The monks there don't go out to teach. And usually the focus is, of course, staying in the monastery, as Aya Pekka mentioned. And we can call it a lockdown, but maybe because it's winter, it's hibernation. But it's hibernation where we're looking in, focusing on developing the mind, developing peaceful states, developing wisdom. So this is the importance of the Rains retreat. But of course, we couldn't have a Rains retreat if the Sangha had not spent, some monks and nuns had not spent the Rains here. So that's one of the requirements for us to have a katina. And of course the katina, as you know, is focusing on offering the robe, particularly one robe to one of the monks and one robe to one of the nuns. And that's the focus of the katina. Originally, of course, the monks and nuns would have sewn the robe pretty much by hand in the time of the Buddha, using what they call a katina frame. And this is a frame on which many people could work sewing a robe. And of course that would have brought harmony to the community. You have to work together to sew a robe. So that is what the katina is all about, really. And this is we call it a robe-offering ceremony rather than a katina because there are technical reasons. In the Thai tradition, we need 5 monks or nuns who have spent the Vassa in a particular monastery to have a katina. Here we've had 4 monks, and we've had 4 fully ordained monks and 3 fully ordained nuns. So we're getting close to liftoff when we can have a katina, a full katina. In Sri Lanka, of course, they have a different approach, and if there are 5 monks or 5 nuns who are fully ordained at the ceremony, that counts. So that's another approach to the katina. But we are gradually getting towards the 5 monks and the 5 nuns, so that's good. And today, as I mentioned, as we've been talking, today is really what I call Buddhist Community Day, because a lot of the occasions we celebrate, actually, of course, the lay community participates in it, but this one, you have to initiate a lot of it, don't you? So it's a working together of the lay community and the Sangha as well. So I like to call it Community Day, the whole Buddhist community. And of course that's the fully ordained monks and nuns, and the novice monks and nuns, and of course the laymen and laywomen, upasikas and upasikas. So this is the focus of a katina, and it's wonderful because we have a day where we're all working together, mutually supporting each other, which is the aim of having the Sangha and the interrelation between the Sangha and the lay community. And I'd just like to finish off by mentioning a chant that the benefits, usually this talk is supposed to be about the benefits, we call it anisanksa, of the katina, and usually they go on about lots of benefits like a heavenly rebirth and also, good fortune in this life, wealth, comfort, and also in the future. And there are some amazing stories that one can hear about that. But of course, for practicing Buddhists, the main importance is to bring this happiness, joy that we get from this celebration to our meditation, to not only to enjoy that happiness in the daily aspect, but to bring it to the meditation so that it becomes a support for the mind coming together. So this is the purpose of a day like today. And the emphasis on a day like today is celebration. I did attend a katina at Ajahn Brahm's monastery. We actually had it at Jhana Grove. It was slightly larger. 1,200 people. Can you believe it? I can't now. I think we're so lucky to do this, but there they take it for granted actually. But it was so celebratory, so joyful, so happy. And of course a lot of Thai people were there. They're very fun-loving as a people actually. And it just, it emphasised how important for traditional Buddhists, whether they be Sri Lankan, whether they be Thai, Burmese, whoever, how important the katina is and what joy it brings. And that opportunity to offer the robe is really almost a once in a lifetime, though I think maybe Indira, you've done it more than once, I think, this lifetime, so it's great. So really good. So that is one of the nice ways to talk about the benefits of holding a katina like we are today, or a robe-offering ceremony really, is mentioned in one of the Buddha's teachings. It's a traditional chant which we will chant later when we give the blessing. It's an anumodana chant, and it's one about giving. And it's a very traditional one in Thailand, because today, yes, it's about gratitude for sure, katanyuta, but it's about giving too. And it's giving from the community, the lay community, but giving from the Sangha too. So that mutual support between the two. So I'll just read out the verse, what we're going to chant in Pali. We're going to chant it in Pali, but I'll read it in English. And it says, "The wise give at the right time, being kind and rid of stinginess, an offering at the right time, given to the noble ones, upright and poised, with a clear and confident mind, that offering is vast. Those who rejoice at that or do other services don't miss out on the offering. They too have a share in the merit. So one should give without holding back, giving where a gift is very fruitful. Good deeds are the support of living beings when they arise in the next life. So that is sort of like a summary in a way of the benefits of giving, but also of a katina as well. And as I say, this is a very traditional chant in Thailand. So when you hear, when we chant, Kale Dadanti Sampanya, that's this chant, and that's about the benefits and also the qualities of giving and reducing those negative qualities in our mind, stinginess, and developing the positive ones of being kind, of creating good karma, offering to, obviously, Arya, noble ones would be wonderful, but it also includes those that are practicing sincerely the Buddha's path of the meditation, but also the sila, the morality, and developing wisdom. And it also points out that we rejoice, if we rejoice in anybody's good qualities, rejoice today, rejoice any time in somebody's good qualities, their success, we're creating good mental qualities, we're creating good karma for ourselves. So, and we should give without holding back. This is Ajahn Sujato's translation. And this is a very important quality, that we give wholeheartedly. That is something that creates so much more merit and good karma, but also brings a lot of happiness for us. And that it is a support for this life, but for future lives as well. So I'd like to finish it's a little bit late, but I finished the talk here, and to say sadhu for your participation today in this Buddhist community day, where we all have to work together to make it happen. So, and now we can pass on to the next aspect of the program, which is the offering of the robes. This is the main robes, and I think Indira she'll explain it. Thank you very much, Vivian. Sadhu, sadhu.
So we will now proceed with the offering of a robe and requisites to the senior monk and the nun on behalf of the entire male and female lay community. These gifts represent all offerings which have been given so generously online and in person for this special occasion. Suchinta. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. On behalf of ourselves and the lay community, we ask the Sangha for forgiveness for any act of body, speech or mind that has upset the venerable monks and nuns before or during the rains retreat.
Right. So now, on behalf of the Sangha, Ayurveda and I will say the following words. We forgive you, please forgive us if we have upset you through any action of body, speech or mind before or during the rains retreat.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. On behalf of ourselves and the lay community, we forgive the venerable monks and nuns.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. That's good. And each of us participating today, having purified our hearts and mind of negativity and misunderstandings, it is now a suitable time to make an offering of robes and other gifts to the Sangha. May the joy of giving at a time like this be of great merit and benefit to you all.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okasa mayam bhante imani chivarani saparivarani Sangassa dema. Dutiyampi okasa mayam bhante imani chivarani saparivarani sangassa dema. Tatiyampi okasa mayam bhante imani chivarani saparivarani sangassa dema. Venerable monks and nuns, may we offer these robes together with these other offerings to the Sangha.
Sadhu. That's good. That's it. Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah. Put this on. So we're making the offerings quite a distance and using the cloth like for receiving it. It's very COVID safe, isn't it? That's a good approach. Good idea.
Having received the gifts from the lay community, the NBM monastics will now give their blessings. The traditional Buddhist chants will be recited shortly, reminding us of the teachings of the Buddha. They also serve to share the merits of our good deeds with our relatives, family, friends, and all sentient beings.
Sadhu, sadhu. So now we can call on the devas to listen to this chanting. Samanta Chakavalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhammang Muni Rajasa Sunatu Sagamokadang Parita Savana Kalo Ayam Badanta Parita Savana Kalo Ayam Badanta Parita Savana Kalo Ayam Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Evaṃ me sutang ekang samayang bhagava savatiyang viharati jetavane anatapindika sa'arame atako anyatara devata abhikantaya ratya abhikanta vanna kevala kappang jetavannang obasetva yena bhagavate nupasankami upasankamitva bhagavantang abhivadetva ekamantang atasi kamantang titako sadevata bhagavatang gathaya ajabasi bahudeva manusacha mangalani achintayung akakankamana sotanang bruhi mangalam uttamang asevana chabalanang panditanang cha sevana puja cha pujaniyanang etang mangalam uttamang patirupa vaso cha pube cha katta punyata atta samapanidi cha etang mangalam uttamang bahusachancha sipancha vinayo cha susikito subhasita jaya vacha etang mangalam uttamang mata pitu upatanang puttadarasa sanggaho anakula jagamanta etang mangalam uttamang danancha dhammacariyacha nyatakanancha sanggaho anavajani kammani etang mangalam uttamang arati virati papa majapana cha sanyamo apamado cha dhammesu etang mangalam uttamang garavom chanini vato cha santuti cha katanyuta kalena dhamma sakara netang mangalam uttamang kantin cha sova cha satta samananam cha dasanang kalena dhamma sakacha etang mangalam uttamang tapo cha brahmacharyang cha arya sachana dasanang nibbana sachikiriyacha etang mangalam uttamang Puttassa loka dhammehi chittang yasana kampati asokang virajang kemang etang mangalam uttamang etadisani katwana sabatama parajita sabata soting gachanti tante sang mangalam uttamanti yang kinchi vitang idava urang va sage suvayang ratanang panitang nano samang atitagatena idampi buddhe ratanang panitang etena sachena suvati hotu kayang viragang amatang panitang yada jagasakya muni samahito natena dhammena samati kinchi idampi dhamme ratanang panitang etena sachena suvati hotu yam buddha seto parivanai suching samadhi manantarikan yamahu samadhi natena samona vijjati idampi dhamme ratanang panitang etena sachena suvati hotu ye pugala akasatang pasata chatari etani yugani honti tenda kineya sugata sasawaka ete sudinani mahapalani idampi sange ratanang panitang etena sachena suvati hotu Yesu payuta manasadalena nikamino Gotamasasanami te pati pata amatang vikaya ladamudi nibut bunjamana idampi sange ratanang nitang etena sachena suvati hotu kinang puranang nawang nati sambawang virata cita ayatike bhavasmin tekina bija avirudi chanda nibanti dira yatayang padipo idampi sange ratanang panitang etena sachena suvati hotu. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties, and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease, whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born. May all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another, even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, free from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding, by not holding to wrong views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. Etena satchavajena dukkha vupasamentu te. Etena satchavajena bhayaya vupasamentu te. Etena satchavajena roga vupasamentu te. Ettavata cha amhehi sambadang punya sampadang sambe deva anumodantu samba sampatti sindhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambadang punya sampadang ambe buddha anumodantu samba sampatti sindhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambadang punya sampadang sambe satta anumodantu samba sampatti sindhya. Akasata Chabumata Devanaga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditva chirang rakantu sasanang akasatan chambumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakantu desanang akasatan chambumata devanaga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva chirang rakantu twang sada idang vonyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang vonyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo idang no nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo yata baribaha pura paripurenti sagarang evameva ito dinang petanang upakappati ichitang partitang tumhang kipameva samijatu sabbe purentu sankapa chando panarazo yatamani joti razo yata Sambaroga vinemoto Sambasanta pavajito Sambaveramati kanto Nimuto chatuang bhava Sambitio vivajantu Sambarogo vinasantu mate bhavan twantarayo sukindingayuko bhava abhivadana sile Samnicham vundapachalino Chattaro Dhamma vadanti ayuvano sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti saga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminate samijatu kale dadanti sapanya vadantu vitamachara kalena dinang aryesu ujubutesu tadesu vipassana manatassa vipula honti dakina ye tata anumodanti veya vachang karonti va natena dakina ona tepi punyasa bagino tasmadade apattivanachito yata dinang mahapalang punyani paralokasmin patita honti paninanti bhavatu sambhamangalam rakantu samba devata samba buddhanubhavena sandasoti bhavantu te bhavantu samba mangalam rakantu samba devata samba dhamma nubhavena sandasoti bhavantu te, bhavantu sabba mangalam, rakhantu sabba devata, sabba sanghanupavena, dasoti bhavantu te. May you abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may you maintain well-being in yourself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So that is a blessing, not only for everyone that's here, everyone that's watching online, but also for those relatives and friends who have passed away, and also for those that are living, that are experiencing difficulties, either health problems, financial problems, family problems, whatever those problems be. And in particular, those people who offered the main robes today, great merit to you, and particularly Rukman Wimala Surya's family. May they have health and well-being and happiness. And to Chinta and your family, may they have happiness, well-being and success. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much. And now over to Indira.
Thank you, Ajahn. So now I will hand over to Chinta, Vice President of the Buddhist Society of Victoria, to give the closing messages. Thank you, Chinta.
No, that's fine, that's good.
Keep it short. Okay. As the robe-offering ceremony of today comes to an end, on behalf of the committee of the Buddhist Society of Victoria and the Newbury Buddhist Monastery, we extend our respectful gratitude to the bhikkhu, to the bhikkhuni, and the samaneri for the volume of support so generously given in preparation for the success of this occasion today. Also, we thank the residents of the Newbury Monastery for extending their support and generosity in many ways to make this occasion a success. Sadhu. I hope I don't leave out anyone inadvertently. I'll just continue to give list of people that we need to really thank today. The NBM volunteers, Ravi and his group of friends, we thank you for your continuous support. This event wouldn't have been the same today without your generosity of time and energy given at very short notice. Terry, for being here at the nick of time from Queensland to arrange the outdoor facilities. Lai, for managing the ever-changing floor plan. Ada and her supporters for catering for the occasion at short notice. Of course, thanks to Wali for organizing the registration of the attendance and also doing the advertising. Our gratitude to the BSV technical team led by Srijut and closely supported by Langdon. Your tireless work behind the scenes providing the audio visuals today, both indoors and outdoors, and via live streaming, is immeasurable. Devotees attending in person here today, we thank you for your presence and the generosity extended. Those devotees following the robe-offering ceremony via live stream from different parts of the world, we are very grateful for your participation. The total success of this event today is you, the community of the Buddhist Society of Victoria and the Newbury Buddhist Monastery, who have joined together to celebrate the event with us today. We thank you all for being here.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And maybe we can finish with the Arahang, is this? Yeah. Would that be a good way to finish?
So now the Ajahn will close off the ceremony.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
There we are. We can do it. Oh, we just do it sitting, I think. We can do it sitting, I think that's okay. There we are, because it will be easier. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami Sadhu.